Okay. Have you ever been in one of those arguments where it feels like you're speaking a completely different language? You're laying out facts, you're being logical, but you're just not getting anywhere? Well, let's get into the powerful strategy that can completely change how you handle those impossible conversations.
If you have ever, even once, heard these exact words, usually right after someone has pushed you way past your emotional limit, then you're in the right place. This is for you. You know that feeling, right? It could be anywhere. You finally work up the courage to share how you feel, hoping for some connection. And then, boom, the tables turn. All of a sudden, you're on trial, and the conversation for connection has just become a cross-examination. So if this feels like an argument you can never, ever win, it's because it's not an argument at all. And according to researchers, you're making a pretty big mistake by even treating it like a normal disagreement. What you're in is something called an asymmetrical conflict. And this, right here, is the absolute core of the problem. You think you're both playing chess, but they're playing checkers. You're not just playing by different rules, you're not even playing the same game. And understanding that is the key that unlocks everything else. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the mismatch. Your goal is connection. Their goal is control. You're trying to bring clarity. They see your words as fuel for their fire. You want resolution. They just want to reinforce their power. And this is why your best instincts, trying to be more loving, more logical, it actually just makes everything worse. So if you want to break this cycle, you need a whole new operating system for these interactions. And it's built on two really simple but powerful words: detachment and strategy. Detachment means you stop pouring your precious emotional energy into the fire. And strategy means you stop winging it and you start using a proven system. All right, so let's get into our first tool. This one is all about cutting off their psychological supply right at the source.
It's called the gray rock method, and it is exactly what it sounds like. You become as boring, as uninteresting, as unresponsive as a plain gray rock. See, the goal here isn't to win anymore. The goal is to make the interaction provide zero reward for them. You want them to get bored and just wander away. So in practice, what does that sound like? It's short, it's factual, it's totally non-committal. Okay, I hear you. You have to think of your emotional reactions, your anger, your justifications, as the very oxygen that's fueling their fire. These phrases, they starve the conversation of that oxygen. Now, a really important warning here. When you first start doing this, they're not going to just stop. Oh no, they're going to get worse. You have to prepare yourself for a very predictable escalation because it will get worse before it gets better. And here's why. It's a real clinically observed thing called an extinction burst. The best analogy is a broken vending machine. What do? You don't just walk away, right? You press the button again, harder. Maybe you shake the machine a little. They are going to shake you, trying to get that old reaction they're used to. Your only job is to stay firm and not give it to them. Okay, next up, let's install a communication firewall. This is all about how you stop accidentally handing them the very ammunition they use against you. Most of us, naturally, fall right into what's called the jade trap. We justify, we argue, we defend, and we explain. We think if we can just explain our position clearly enough, they'll understand. But with a high-conflict person, your perfectly crafted explanations aren't seen as points of clarity. They're seen as weapons to be twisted and used against you later. So what do? We replace that jade trap with a simple four-step protocol. It's called BIF, and it was developed by the High Conflict Institute specifically for these situations. So your response should be brief, just a few sentences, informative, only objective facts, friendly, keep a neutral, civil tone, and firm. This is key. It clearly ends the back and forth. This structure leaves absolutely no emotional hooks for them to grab onto. It forces the conversation to either become productive or just stop. And finally, we've come to what might be the single most important piece of this whole puzzle. We have to protect your most valuable asset in all of this, your own sanity. Because the most dangerous weapon in their arsenal is gaslighting. It's that slow, creeping rewriting of history. It's the, I never said that, or you're just remembering it wrong, or that's not how it happened. And over time, it makes you start to doubt your own mind, to question what's even real. The solution here is beautifully simple. Create an external anchor for your memory. You become a documentarian. You keep a simple, factual log. Date,
time, and exactly what was said, verbatim. That way, when they try to rewrite history, you don't have to rely on your own stressed-out memory. You can just look at your log. It makes you practically immune to their distortion. And beyond that, learn to trust your body. When their words are saying, "I love you," but you feel that tightness in your chest or that sinking feeling in your stomach, that's your nervous system detecting the truth beneath the words. That physical data is often more accurate than their verbal manipulation. Your body knows.
So let's be really clear. The goal here is not about winning the argument. It's about accepting that you'll never win, and that's fine. Because every single tool we've just talked about is designed to achieve something way more important: reclaiming the space, the peace, and the energy in your own head that they've been occupying for far too long. Look, setting these boundaries isn't about being mean or cold. It's about being sustainable. You can't pour from an empty reservoir. This is about stopping the leak so you finally have the resources you need to architect your own life. So the real question is, once you're no longer just a supply, what are you going to build with all that time and energy?